everyone. I'd just like to quickly run you through some new features in Google Meet that you may not be aware of, and that will improve our home learning experience immensely since last year. So as you are aware, in whatever class you're in, you go to the banner link. When you arrive at the Meet page, the first thing you're of course going to want to do is check your audio and video and make sure those things are working, which you should be familiar with. And if not, you just give a click here. It's going to tell you I'm using this microphone and these internal speakers and this camera, and you can make sure that those are working and go to next, and you can do a quick demo, and I just speak and test, and it does that for me, and you can play it back, and you can see you've got checks all the way across. So I'm good to go. Now, the first new feature you want to check out here is the backgrounds. Before you even enter the Meet, you can change your background. So you can click here and you can choose from one of these backgrounds. You can blur your background as well, or you can pick a background. So I'm going to pick that background and I'm going to join my meeting. First thing you're going to notice, of course, is the box up on the left that's going to give you details of your meeting if you need to share it with anyone in a split second. First built-in new feature, we were using an extension last time to get multiple students on our screens. That's no longer necessary in Google Meet. If you click on the three dots on your bottom right, change layout, and you have these multiple choices. If you choose tiled, you can use this slider here to set the number of people that are visible on your screen. It's quite convenient. I used it with our staff meeting the other day, and I was able to see all 49 people, and there was no glitches or lags, so it's considerably improved since last time. So that's the first thing you want to do, is set your layout for the amount of students you will be interacting with. The next thing that I think is interesting as well is we can turn on the captions. And you may want to encourage your EAL students to use the captions because, as you can see, if you speak somewhat clearly, it works fairly well. So that might be a useful resource for some of your students. The final piece is now they have a built-in Jamboard, so you can do an interactive activity. So if I click on Open Whiteboard, it opens this little dialog box, and you can choose something that you've already created from your drive, or you can start a brand new one. And once you create it, a link will be sent to everyone in the meeting on their chat. So that's pretty cool. So you can say start a new whiteboard, and the whiteboard will open up in a new tab for you. But of course, your meeting is still going. If there were participants in my meeting, you would get a prompt box that asks you to set the sharing settings and telling you who you were sending it to. And then instantaneously, everyone in your meeting will get a link. I did test this in advance, so it does function like that. So that's a new feature that could be quite useful for online classes. There is the raise your hand option down here. You might notice that the extension we had before for the different kinds of reactions has been removed from Chrome. However, we will get that pushed back into Chrome for you folks, so you'll have those extra reactions for people if you like. That is the gist of the new features, but there's one more feature you should note when I leave the meeting. So when I hang up, I get this prompt box. I can just leave the call. So as a person who owns and started the meeting, I can just leave the call. However, it's really important that you end the call because you'll end it for everyone. However, it's good to note this is there just in case you do need to leave the call for some reason and there's another colleague in the meeting supervising the students. So make sure you end the call. You are now done. Just to note, in terms of security for this, they now have a feature here, quick access was turned off, which means it's defaulted off for us. That means for anyone that does not have access to your Google Classroom with that quick link could join your meeting, but you would have to allow them in. All right, that's it for me.